Welcome everyone to this year's TechEd. We are so thrilled to have you here and share with you all the great progress we've made in 2022 on integration with the BTP and across our solutions. My name is Philip. I'm heading up Intelligent Enterprise and Cross Architecture for our application side of the house. And together with me is my partner in crime, as always, Michael Ameling, on the technology side of the house, leading up BTP Foundation and the Intelligent Enterprise. And even though we are both managers now, we're always thrilled about TechEd because we can really show you some of the great progress and really also get very technical about some of the things that we are designing for all of you. But let's just directly kick things off. So Michael, why don't you take us ahead?
Thanks a lot, Philip, and a warm welcome from my side as well. I can only confirm that TechEd is one of our favorite events. And let's directly jump into the integration effect and how you can realize business value for your company. With SAP's integration strategy, we wanted to fulfill the vision of the intelligent, sustainable enterprise. So even starting from the top, our leading entities are our end-to-end business processes, really from back office to front office, with lead to cash, design to operate, source to pay, and recruit to retire. What is key here is bringing together our applications, maybe in the topic of enterprise resource management up to customer relationship management with our products like S/4HANA, Concur, Ariba, Fieldglass, and the like. And it's not only from the functional perspective and integration, it's also from the non-functional integration. And some of you might remember that we introduced the suite qualities to have a consistent user experience like single sign-on that we want to target on a one inbox consistently across all applications, or embedding analytics across the end-to-end value chain. What is the technical foundation? It's a business technology platform. So with services from the business technology platform, we serve these needs. And of course, in addition, we provide integration capabilities, extension capabilities, and analytical capabilities, and make use of new technologies like artificial intelligence. And if we bring this all together, we come to the integration effect. With the integration of SAP and third-party applications, we have the ability that you run as an intelligent, sustainable enterprise, because only integrated enterprises are intelligent enterprises. At the same time, you can adapt and extend your business needs with the capabilities of the business technology platform deeply embedded across the application portfolio. In addition, you can also imagine if you bring data together from financials, from human capital into one experience, you can make much more value out of the data and drive data-based business decision across your value chain. In addition, you can make use of advanced technologies. I mentioned artificial intelligence, which is now tightly embedded into the applications. And last but not least, you can make benefit from our ecosystem. With our partners, with this openness of the platform and the integration, you can make value out of the network economy. But now let's look what we have delivered from the customer side. Back to you, Philip.
Thanks so much, Michael. And you're absolutely right. We've come such a long way since we started this integration journey and strategy a couple of years ago. And this is now clearly testified also with very clear and tangible business outcomes and customer reference stories, such as Mod Pizza, for example, being live on Hire to Retire with SuccessFactors and S/4HANA, enjoying the benefits of the one domain model and master data integration, hiring over 1,000 new employees into the company every month. Or Aramco Europe, for example, live on source to pay, also with one domain model and our integration technologies, leading to a reduction of up to 50% in application maintenance costs. Or take Froster, a German food supplier of frozen food, who are enjoying the benefits of our all new user experience with Fiori Horizon, SAP Mobile Start, and more. And for sure, we're continuing innovating along the end-to-end business processes, such as lead to cash, where we brought together all of our CX solutions, such as Commerce Cloud, Service Cloud, Sales Cloud, Configure Price Quote, all into a consistent solution order that combines subscriptions, services, and real products that can now be also consistently configured. And we will show you a demo later on this as well. Recruit to Retire. Not only that we brought more tasks to our central task center, which we show in a second, but also more one domain model entities, for example, with the company code just in the recent release. source to pay, many things, for example, between Ariba Network, the new iCertis integration for contracting, where we are partnering with companies like iCertis, as well as in design to operate. So along all those end-to-end business processes, great new application integration innovations that you will benefit from. And also on the suite qualities, we are making great progress. On the API Business Hub, for example, there are now 20 end-to-end business blueprints documenting various solution diagrams and architectures of our end-to-end business processes. With more than 3,000 APIs across our solutions, we are now covering more than 90% of our entire lines of business API scope through API Business Hub. And what's more, with the one domain model, new entities are rolling in every quarter along the end-to-end business processes, such as company code, exchange rates, purchasing organization, and way more to come. With the one workflow inbox, also called SAP Task Center, we now provide more than 80 workflows across 9 major SAP applications from a single place. And with SAP Start, we are just launching the web version of a journey that we started already with SAP Mobile Start last year as our central unified experience across SAP's application portfolio. But let's get very, very clear now about a tangible scenario. Let's talk about lead to cash, and there in particular of the scenario of integrating SAP Configure Price Quote with SAP Billing and Revenue Innovation Management. So what you basically see here is how those are integrated from a high level view. Left, there's SAP CPQ. On the right-hand side, there's SAP S/4HANA on-premise containing advanced variant configuration, as well as SAP Billing and Revenue Innovation Management. In between, there's SAP Master Data Integration, the service that integrates master data such as the business partner, the customer, or the product for the product catalog, standard business entities. The event mesh, which is used to signal various transactions and behaviors throughout the entire process. SAP Cloud Integration, process integration is used for transactional integrations between those solutions. And finally, there's also SAP Variant and Pricing that is going to be used to really provide a consistent pricing service in the cloud on top of advanced variant configuration. But with this enough, let's dive right into the demo. Let's imagine you're now a sales rep who negotiates with a customer directly in SAP CPQ. And now I want to offer a bundled solution. I actually want to configure a tablet with a cloud subscription. So let's add the tablet first, a basic direct product. But we would also like to add another row here to this quote, which is a subscription, which directly retrieves also the available configuration from this configuration and pricing service. So only provides available and correct configuration. Here in this case, I select, for example, the cloud service of size M for $10 per month. And it also checks the completeness and the correctness with the pricing service in the background. So now I have actually both a product and a subscription within my quote directly here. And I can also now look at, for example, the sell to party, which provides the business partner, the customer, which is integrated via the master data integration service coming from S/4HANA directly here also out of the box via the one domain model I've mentioned earlier. Now, as a final step in CPQ, let's also simulate a kind of a negotiation. So we also apply a one-time discount on the tablet after a short discussion with the customer, for example. Before we now actually create the order in the S/4HANA system, let's see what happens in the background. So let's for a second turn off the replication of that quote, so the integration flow coming from our cloud integration. Let's turn it off and to really see what is happening. So now back in CPQ, if I now actually click on creating that order, yes, for sure, everything is correct here. Very good. And now it actually has populated that into our event mesh, our notification service in the background. So we can actually see how on the BTP from CPQ, this message that now there is actually this quote that needs to be transferred into the S/4HANA system is actually in there. What I can now do in order to now continue processing that message, let's also look again into the cloud integration and reactivate that iFlow. So in this case, it is the iFlow that integrates this quote with SAP Billing and Revenue Innovation Management. So I scroll just down here, select the respective iFlow here from SAP CPQ to SAP S/4HANA as part of this overall integration. And once this iFlow is again activated, I can now see also then within the event mesh how that message is actually now consumed, right? So it was buffered, even though the iFlow was undeployed, and it's now going to be processed. So now back into the demo, now we can actually flip over. So first of all, we also look at how that the order was placed. So the status was also now successfully updated within CPQ. And we also for sure get back the sales order ID from the S/4HANA system so that I can actually look it up within S/4HANA. Now over in the solution order quotation Fiori application, I can pick up this ID and look actually at the solution order, which, and fully correct, according to the net value and the gross amount, also the sell-to party is the correct one. We also see all the things that are part of my bundle. The tablet is in, the configurable image and cloud subscription is in, which I then also can now look into how it was actually configured using CPQ. So I see all the various parameters that I've selected within CPQ here as well. And because it's for sure resulting in difference, a sales order, a subscription contract, and more, we will also see how the follow-up documents have been created. So the solution order itself has created more documents for the respective downstream processing within the S/4HANA system.
Thanks a lot, Philip. What a great demo. Now let me continue with one of our sweet qualities, one workflow inbox. This year, we delivered SAP Task Center. The goal was to have one central inbox where you as an end user can have access to all workflows across the complete value chain within your company. So we integrated S/4HANA, Cloud and Private Edition. We integrated SAP SuccessFactors, Fieldglass, Ariba Buying, Ariba Sourcing, and just recently SAP Build Process Automation into SAP Task Center, that you as an end user have access across all these different workflows in one delightful user experience. Now you can imagine that this requires a lot of integration works. We make use of the SAP Business Technology Platform as a technical foundation. For example, we said that it's an API-first approach, so we delivered one inbox service, which has a federated approach across the different applications. We aligned the domain model because you can imagine that we need one unique language across the different applications when we talk about tasks. We also took care of the consistent security and identity management because you don't want to log in multiple times when you want to have access to all these different tasks. So we took care, for example, of topics like principal propagation, integrated the SAP identity management across all the different solutions in order to serve SAP Task Center with, and then last but not least, a consistent user experience on the web, but also on the mobile, and of course, towards your needs. As I said it already, this has been managed with SAP Business Technology Platform, and let's look a bit more into the detail how this looks like. What you see here, and let me start for the center, we developed an SAP Task Center service on top of Business Technology Platform, which is integrated with SAP Identity Management, and we have APIs and connected to all the different applications which I mentioned too. It's S/4HANA Cloud, Fieldglass, SuccessFactors, Ariba, CX, and also SAP Build Process Automation. In addition, what we will also plan for the future is to have an open integration that you even can integrate third-party applications. I mentioned it's an API-first approach, so therefore we now have the ability to integrate it into web applications, so SAP Task Center, into SAP Start, and even SAP Mobile Start with a mobile user experience. But also here, let's jump from theory into praxis, and let's look at the demo. What you see here now is SAP Task Center web applications with a delightful and unique user experience with all the tasks which you need as an end user. Now let me select an expense report approval, which is coming out of SAP Concur. You have all information which you need regarding workflows. So as you see, the list is complete with all tasks which are open for you to process. We even integrated further workflows with SAP Build Process Automation, SAP S/4HANA Cloud, and many more. In addition to this overview, you have all information which you need to process your workflow at your hands. So you have a quick overview. They can also have interactive directly, so that you approve them directly. And in addition, all information from the respective source system is already integrated within SAP Task Center. So in this example here, you have the purchase order, all information, and even related documents are accessible at one hand. Let me jump to another one from SAP Field Glass as an example, so where you can approve a job posting, just as another example. In addition, when you open the task, as I said, you have all information at hand, and even the information from the respective source system is loaded with all details, which you also find usually in your individual inbox. Now, in addition to the SAP Task Center web application, we integrated also this in our mobile user experience. So with this example here, SAP Mobile Start, which we launched already last year, we also integrated SAP Task Center since we have all APIs available. So here what you see are the same workflows which you usually have in your web application at hand with a mobile native experience. You can directly approve them and process them also on your mobile device. Now you have seen the demo on SAP Task Center. Now let me jump into the integration of hybrid scenarios. Since we started this integration journey, and Philip mentioned this in the beginning, also some while ago, there's a focus was very much on cloud and greenfield applications. But we highly appreciate also your feedback that the world is hybrid. And I would even claim that 95 to 98% of customers have hybrid environments. And therefore, let me share a few updates what we also did in order to serve the hybrid scenarios. One of them is in the hire to retire field. So where we bring together success factors in S/4HANA with exchanging master data with the SAP One Domain Model. Also here, we make use of the master data integration service and exchange now objects like workforce person, cost center, company code, and even exchange rates between the different applications with an event-driven architecture, which is of course now able to distribute master data in an easy and cost-efficient manner across the different applications. We also make use of the SAP One Domain Model ID now, so also this has been evolved over time. Then from the function integration, you just have seen in the lead to cash process from Philip, the CPQ integration with SAP Billing and Revenue Innovation Management. Also, one thing I want to mention is into the topic of integration of third-party applications. Also here as a heads up, what we are going to deliver is the Edge Integration Cell runtime. So in a hybrid runtime that has an extension of SAP Integration Suite for optimal support in hybrid environments, so that you basically have an edge capabilities with the integration suite. Another example I want to mention here is the integration of the master data integration service, because also here we delivered now an adapter for SAP Cloud Integration, which makes it easier to integrate with the master data integration suite in the context of the integration suite. Now let me come back to our integration effect. You can imagine that this is kind of a ripple effect across the whole SAP solution portfolio. And this is what you also will see during TechEd. So what I would like to do is to refer also to further sessions where you can make use of integrating SAP and third-party applications and become an intelligent enterprise. So the first session, of course, I want to refer to is the topic of integration third-party applications. So here we have great sessions on mobile experience, the integration suite. To run as an intelligent, sustainable enterprise, we also have sessions in the sustainability area. For the extension, I can recommend to look into the improve, automating, extending a business process with a low-code and no-code environment. We have session around the database, so analytics. We have session around the advanced technologies. I mentioned artificial intelligence. And last but not least, about the networked economy with business application. So also here we have a great keynote. Last but not least, I would like to refer to the learning opportunities on learningsap.com, but also don't forget to check out the SAP Discovery Center, our source where you have missions which guide you through concrete scenarios like the SAP Task Center. So check this out as well. With that, back to you, Philip. Why don't you wrap it up?
Thank you so much, Michael. And those are all great resources I can just highly recommend to check out, either offline or directly here on TechEd. I hope you enjoyed this session where we gave you a great overview on where we are coming from, what we have achieved this year, and where we are getting with integration, with our integration strategy, but also with our entire portfolio, delivering the best of the suite right to you. And with this, enjoy TechEd, check out all the resources, learn more, and I'm happy to look at all the discussions we are going to have to move us all forward in those exciting times. With this, enjoy TechEd.